Hello and welcome to the first ever video episode of My Life as a Doge. I'm going to talk today for RPG A Day 6 about the games that I love but I never get to play. Now, as I've mentioned before, I have a fairly limited range of experience with role-playing games, at least compared to some of my peer group. So what I'm mostly going to talk about today is campaigns I want to run and I'm not sure I'm ever going to get a chance. And in particular two running with some of my favourite systems. So first of all, I apologise this is missing, I'm having to improvise with my phone camera, and I may be holding this book completely off screen or just obscuring my face, who knows. So first of all, in Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, this is the second edition, effectively, published by Black Industries. This is the one that first substantially revised the material. I don't like the world, as I've mentioned before. I prefer the setting as it was laid out in the first edition, so that's always what I work with. For example, in my campaign concept, which is called Pies Across the Ocean, and is linked in with a potentially unhealthy fascination with halfling cooking and particularly pies, and the great celebration of Pie Week. So Pies Across the Ocean follows a professional crew of pie makers and their hired guards and other retainers as they cross the ocean to a halfling colony in the New World. Now, this is entirely out of the blue, the idea of a halfling colony in the New World, but I figure it's probably politically incorrect to use the pygmies who used to inhabit the New World, being as they were very, very racist. But it's probably okay if instead of pygmies you have halflings in the New World who long separated from their old world cousins. So that's the game I want to run is introducing pies to long lost relatives, and obviously it's Warhammer, so there is a darkness behind the human there. I haven't worked on any more details than that yet, but it's something to the moment I really want to run. And the other thing. Moving on to number 2. This is Only War, the fourth iteration of the Warhammer 40,000 universe role-playing rules. In the Keeping of Fantasy Flight games now. And Only War is the Imperial Guard version. So everyone plays soldiers in the Imperial Guard. And my concept for this one, because as you know, all good Imperial Guard stories are based on a war movie, is the Dirty Dozen. So the player characters, instead of being a unit in a single regiment conducting routine missions, are instead the last chance squad put together out of prisoners who are not quite bad enough to go straight up to the penal legions from which there is no return, attempting to earn the Emperor's forgiveness on virtually suicidal missions behind enemy territory, assassinations, commando raids, blowing things up, all that good stuff that the Dirty Dozen get to do, and nobody feels too bad if they die because they're horrible, horrible people. Which is pretty much, I think, if you ever down to the core ethos of Warhammer 40,000. That it is a universe in which nobody cares what happens to anyone because they're all horrible, horrible people. The problem I have running either of these concepts is, simply put, that I can't get 5 adults together at the same time on a regular basis, even once a month, because we're grown-ups, we have jobs, we have lives, we have partners, we have, in many cases, children. I have my daughter. I can't reliably be available once a month. Why should I expect anyone else to? And the problem is that both of these games are a bit too crunchy, mechanically speaking, to run over Skype. In particular, they both benefit greatly in combat situations from the use of miniatures, which is very hard to do on Skype. I'm looking at experimenting with some online tabletops, and if I can get one of those working, then maybe I'll get a chance to run the Dirty Dozen of the Imperial Guard, or Pies Across the Ocean. who knows? Who knows what the future holds? Well, in one respect, we know what the future holds. The future holds day 7 of RPG a Day, which is, checking my notes, what is the most intellectual game that you own? How I honestly have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do for this one, because I don't really own any games that might be considered intellectual. Some of them require that amount of maths, but that's a bug more than a feature. So we'll see what we have to talk about tomorrow. Please do come back. It'll probably be a text one tomorrow. And of course, check out my friends' websites and the hashtag RPG a Day for more stuff about role-playing games.